Hey everybody, it's me and John, the Cyberpunks, and we got a chance to see Cyberpunk 2077 here at E3 2019. Hey.
Hey, man.
How you doing?
I'm all right.
Did you get to go see a video game?
I did.
I didn't.
Yeah, I was the only one.
Yeah.
I was famously the only one out of us that got there after we thought we would get a few. But yeah,
Slack famous.
I am famous. I saw an hour-long presentation of Cyberpunk 2077.
That's a long demo.
It was a very long demo.
That's wild. But,
Do you know why it was such a long demo?
No.
There's a lot of stuff in that game.
Oh.
Yeah. And so they wanted to show off a lot of it, which
Okay.
I think was a cool move. Like, I think I've seen a bunch of 15-minute demos, 10-minute demos, kind of bad trailers, kind of bad gameplay demos.
Some bad tweets.
Bad tweets, definitely bad tweets, bad decisions all week. But Cyberpunk 2077 has a lot going for it. We can get to the bad stuff soon. But let's start with the good stuff.
Okay.
It is a big game. It is a big capital G game.
Yes.
With a big open world. We saw some stuff last year that was cool, like a little combat sequence, maybe a little bit of dialogue. We saw a lot more in terms of like the open world exploration and kind of the quest structure. And that's the kind of stuff that I really gravitate toward, especially with a game like the Witcher series or whatever.
Right.
And you got to see how a lot of the systems interacted, like different skill stuff, different, how you define your upbringing. Were you a corporate person that decided to leave? Or are you a street person that, is just always growing up in the streets? Or are you kind of a nomad that's just like making their way across different cities in the country and whatever. And so we played as a corpo person, and that came with its own,
Maybe, did they choose for you? Or,
they just chose. Like,
okay.
it was like the same demo that they always ran.
Okay.
And so, it was kind of cool. And the build was very tech-focused. So we got to see a lot of, like, hacking things. Like cyber things.
Yeah, they haven't done I don't think they've shown a ton of that previously to this. It's been more of the guns and sword arms and all that sort of stuff.
Correct. It appears to me what the systems will be is you get to do this like fairly complicated mini game to do hacking.
Okay.
But once you do, and this is kind of cool, you're ostensibly connected to the entire network of whatever that thing is connected to.
Right. Yeah.
So you do the complicated thing once instead of like, at every single terminal, like in Deus Ex or Bioshock or whatever, you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. And as much as I love Pipe Dream, it felt kind of good to like do it once, and then you basically have access to a single network.
Right.
So it was kind of cool.
Was it like a fairly action-packed demo in that way then? Like, did they get that stuff out of the way so that you could then get to shooting and whatever it is that Cyberpunk do?
So first of all, I didn't play it. This was just me seeing it. But like, they basically just like did a quest structure thing where they said they got a quest from someone. This gang hates this gang. Shocker. And then the gang is like, hey, you need to go kill the other gang. And you're like, sure.
Oh yeah,
video games. But I thought the cool stuff was the gang that hires you wants to basically jack you into their neural network to like see what you're seeing and kind of like but you also apparently that's a decision you're making because they might have access to things later in the story that you may not want them to. That's kind of what they implied. So it seems like there will be a lot of those decisions.
Right.
Of, hey, who do you trust? What are the consequences of becoming kind of one with this network? And in that way, it seems like a more successful cyberpunk, the genre, kind of thing than a lot of other things in terms of like, everything is connected. These things really permeate the world instead of their, accoutrement of the world. I mean, it's like everything is about this.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things I think they've been talking up a lot is saying that like this is a dangerous world where like your decisions are not going to just be like decisions for the sake of like good choice or bad choice. It's going to be like, no, you could just really screw yourself later on down the line.
Yeah, and we saw that. And I mean, there are a couple of instances where you make a decision to trust someone and, that was a bad choice. Mm-hmm. And you do get punished for those choices. And just as a note, which was not clear from, I think, their E3 trailer, where we saw Keanu Reeves at the very end of it just say something to you. Keanu Reeves is your Na'vi in this game.
Oh, he's like in it a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He is your digital ghost that is haunting you for various reasons.
Okay.
And he is basically a person that will react to things that you're doing in a way a lot like a helper in, a Legend of Zelda game.
When you say ghost, you mean he's like literally a figure who's dead in that
He
universe?
is a dead person who has a digital footprint that is talking to you throughout the game.
And maybe I was wrong about this. I thought this was maybe some character that was key to the cyberpunk universe fiction or something like that.
I think he is,
Okay.
but it's like his death kind of was the catalyst for some other stuff, and now he's kind of with you on this journey. And so Keanu Reeves has like a ton of lines in it, a ton of screen time.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's wild. I kind of thought it would be a footnote in this thing. It's like, oh, Keanu's going to be like a mob boss in this thing. It's like, cool. No, he's like the guy following you like throughout the game, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, because, I mean, we've seen this kind of stunt casting in other video games in the past. Dishonored has done it. Bethesda, in fact, just really loves to do it in general.
Yeah.
Going back all the way to Patrick Stewart in Oblivion.
Right.
And he's in that, like, that's the prime example because he's in that game for 15 minutes and then bites
He gets
it.
murked.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this doesn't feel the same to me. I mean,
Okay.
like Dishonored, like Brad Dourif and Dishonored is maybe a good analog of someone who like really did a good job with that role and like leaned into it like a voice acting professional, I feel like. And so it didn't feel that gimmicky. Some of the other casting choices did to me. But like Keanu feels like a real, and he says motherfucker a lot, which is like kind of weird,
Yeah, for his modern day.
It's a little
aesthetic.
weird.
Yeah.
They even pointed out that it's kind of weird. It's like, yeah, it feels kind of strange. You're gonna say that.
It's kind of not the character he plays lately.
Not, no. But I don't know. It should be fun. Saw a bunch of action stuff, like, real quickly. We actually saw different builds. They switched between builds in the dev version.
Oh.
So they said, hey, we did this first part as this kind of infiltrator corpo guy. Now we're going to switch to this lady who has invested all of her points into strength. And hey, instead of like jacking into the network and unlocking doors, she's going to tear open doors like a tuna can. Like, it is wild.
That's very
like
cool.
she just rips the doors open. You get to a turret in one battle sequence, and her solution is to get up to the turret, rip the turret out of the ground, and use it, which was fucking cool. And then the infiltrator guy, though, hacks into the turret and like turns it on other people.
Right,
so it's like, kind of no matter what your build is, it seems like there will be actually very entertaining options to tackle a lot of different problems.
Right. Well, even just right then and there with that very like brief example, I can already think of the different ways. Like with, going up and ripping it up, I assume that you'll have to take a couple of shots to get in close, but you get to take it wherever you want.
Yeah.
Whereas if you hack it, it stays where it's, where it is. But hey, you don't get shot.
Yeah, totally.
Which is important.
So yeah, I enjoyed what I saw. It was an hour of like seeing a ton of different things that you'll be able to do in Cyberpunk. I still have questions. I still think the politics of CD Projekt Red are an issue, which I think we'll talk about maybe more on a podcast or something.
Yeah, get more.
But
definitely.
I just saw more issues pop up in terms of kind of really engaging in the real world instead of a fantasy world seems to be a problem for CD Projekt Red.
Right. Yeah.
And they might ought to talk to people who deal with situations.
Right. And quote unquote the real world. Like it's not actually
but I mean, if you're talking about a coastal city in California, you're dealing with race and gender and stuff like that, and they deal with all of that pretty badly.
Yeah.
So I think it's a thing where they're gonna have to work on that before pre-release, but we have 9 months or so before they.
Yeah.
So
I would like
know.
to see them hire some people that maybe know a thing or two about the things that they actually want to broach.
Totally.
Instead of just kind of assuming that they know right off the bat what is good and what is not.
Totally. So yeah, we'll have a ton more about Cyberpunk 2077. It was one of my favorite games of the show. Had some issues, obviously, still does. We'll talk about more of those, but I enjoyed it. It was one of the best games I saw at the show.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm very excited to see it myself in person at some point.
Awesome.
Also kind of, have some reservations because I don't even have the benefit of having got to see the game first person like that or in person like that.
Yeah.
But, God, it's just something about it. I think it's pretty clear at this point that people are very, very interested in the game.
Totally. And we're the Cyberpunk.
Yeah, we are the Cyberpunks, so of course we have to play it.
Yeah, we have to.
Right, legally.
Bye.
Cyber bye.
Cyber bye.
Hey, thanks for watching. And if you really like this video, you should subscribe to the whole channel, because there's a lot of cool stuff like it. Check out fanbyte.com for the latest and greatest in games and entertainment and tech.